19. Adventure and exploration. Ponder a while. Have you ever seen or been to a mountain? How and why do you think people make such difficult trips? Do you think mountaineers train themselves? Have you heard of people traveling in a spacecraft? Man is always fascinated by the wonders of nature. An adventure is a kind of challenge to our resources, mental toughness, and physical strength. A person can set out an unusual and dangerous journey or face a series of events in the search of exciting adventures. Love for adventure. The world would not have attained the present shape without the spirit of adventure. It is the result of adventure by the courageous and brave people that we know of far places, mountains, oceans, rivers, glaciers, and so on. Adventurers add to our knowledge and prompt us to do something exciting in our life. Adventure sports and adventure tourism have become popular these days. Some of the popular adventure sports include bungee jumping, scuba diving, paragliding, river rafting, etc. Mountaineering. The sport or activity of climbing mountains is called mountaineering. Those people who climb mountains for adventure are called mountaineers. It has always been one of the man's favorite adventure. Every year, many climbers climb the most difficult mountains all around the world. Scaling a mountain peak gives a sense of victory. The 8,848 meters high Mount Everest in the Himalayan mountains is the highest peak in the world. Many mountaineers dreamt of scaling its peak, but it was Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay who were the first to reach the top of the peak on 29th May 1953. Fact Trivia. Avatar Singh Cheema, along with 8 others, were the first Indian to lead a successful expedition that climbed Mount Everest on 20th May 1965. Bachendri Pal was the first Indian woman to climb the Mount Everest in 1984. Prior to this, she also climbed the Gangotri and Rudragariya peaks. While climbing, she suffered head injuries at the height of 24,000 feet. India is proud to have courageous people like her. Mountain expeditions. Team spirit. The spirit of mountaineering trains a person to be physically and mentally strong and helps to develop discipline, humility, courage, and self-confidence. Mountaineering requires courage, strength, stamina, experience, and technical ability. Challenges. Though the mountaineers experience adventure, but they have to face various challenges to scale the peaks of mountains. Some of them are listed below. Mountains are generally of two types, rocky and snow-clad. Mountaineers may come across dangers like loose rocks or ice blocks falling on them while climbing the mountains. The risk of slipping down is more on slippery surfaces of rocks and smooth snow. The fast changing weather conditions are also one of the challenges that mountaineers have to face. Snowfall, rain, or lightning may occur suddenly, giving very little time to mountaineers to reach a safer place. Moreover, the biggest risk factors for mountaineers are landslides and avalanches that occur frequently on mountains. Oxygen level reduces at higher altitudes, which causes breathlessness and tiredness. The mountaineers generally carry oxygen cylinders with them to climb up the mountains. Training. In order to overcome the challenges faced while climbing, the mountaineers are physically and mentally trained. In our country, the Himalayan Mountaineering Institute in Darjeeling and the Nehru Institute of Mountaineering in Uttarkashi provides training to aspiring mountaineers. Climbing equipments. A mountaineer requires ice axe, helmet, nylon ropes, aluminium ladder, crampons and oxygen cylinders to carry while climbing on mountains. Other than these, a mountaineer needs to carry lightweight thermal clothing, waterproof jacket, torch, first aid kit, emergency food, etc. The sky. Human beings are always fascinated by the things that they see in the sky and the outer space. All the objects that we see in the sky are called heavenly bodies. The heavenly bodies include the stars, planets, satellites, asteroids, comets, meteors, etc. Going into space and learning about these heavenly bodies has always been a great adventure. Humans in space. Yuri Gagarin was the first man to go into space on 12th April 1961. Then, in 1963, Valentina Tereshkova became the first woman to go into space, and the first person to land on the moon was Neil Armstrong. He landed on the moon on 21st July 1969. Indians in space. Rakesh Sharma was the first Indian to go into space in 1984. Then, Kalpana Chawla became the first Indian woman to go into space. She went on the first space flight as part of the NASA space program on 19th November 1997. In January 2003, she went for a second space flight. However, on her way back, her space shuttle named Columbia met with an accident. Kalpana and all her co-astronauts were killed. Let's do it. Collect some information about various astronauts and write it in a scrapbook. Also paste their pictures. Fact trivia: Sunita Williams has set up a world record for the longest stay of 6 months in the space. Vocabulary cards. Adventure, a kind of challenge to the person's mental toughness and physical strength. Mountaineering, the sport or activity of climbing mountains. Mountaineers, the people who climb mountains for adventure. Heavenly bodies, the objects that we see in